Okay, so who would like to be first with questions?
I've got a question about the radio part of um, your advertisement. How are you going to make sure your point goes across to the consumers through radio? So how will you make the storyline more like how will they understand it that this is going to happen in the storyline? Like what are you going to try and do?
Well, the radio advertisement is going to be the same sort of narrative as the print. However, we're going to use audio, so with the radio, we're going to have a voiceover communicating with the student and have some dialogue in there in order to actually give an idea of what's going on. I'm going to be using the audio and sound effects, such as Foley sound, which will be used in order to paint a picture of what is going on. Next question.
So how's your advert going to be different? Like, how's it going to stand out from the rest?
Relatability to the younger target audience, which is trying during the stressful exam, during their school lives, whilst they're doing their stressful work. And it's also meant to connect with them. Next question.
Do you have a colour scheme for your print advert?
Print advert will primarily use the colour scheme which already exists for the 12R, which is the purple and yellow. Next question.
Would you have a narrator in your radio?
Yes.
What makes your chocolate unique? Because you talked about, your advertising has a unique selling point, but what makes the chocolate a unique selling point? Like the 12.
I don't understand the question.
So I think what Karen's trying to ask is, what is it that you're trying to bring out about the twirl in the advert? Is that sort of what you're saying? Yeah, so could you do exactly the same advert with a Mars bar or with some mini eggs? So what is it that's the connection between the twirl and a person in a stressful situation eating it?
So with that, it's like, the 12 is meant to be the distraction to help keep their mind off of it. And I've created a slogan which will be used within the print and radio advertisement, which reinforces this idea.
What is the slogan, do you know?
It's don't stress out, get the Cadbury's out. So, next question.
Can you give me one example of where a 12 would help a stressed student, like a scenario?
Say when they're doing homework that's due in for the next day, and they don't understand, and they are stressing about it, and thus can't think properly.
How would
they
they
have
help?
12s to take their mind off it, and allow them to calm themselves down.
Are you going to be using any current ideas from previous adverts and implementing it into yours? In terms of like colour scheme, title, how you feature the product.
So how will I employ?
Yeah.
I guess the colour scheme, because that is primarily used within our advertisements. And
What social media platforms would you use for your target audience?
well, it's primarily the younger target audience, so this would be stuff like Snapchat and social media platforms like that. So, Snapchat.
Are you saying only students should eat the chocolate bar,
No,
or should it
but
be
it's
everyone?
meant to be appealing to them, because so in this scenario, it's meant to be appealing to the younger target audience, because that's the one I've decided to target.
Okay, so I think what you need to think about, Tommy, when you look